What's going on, guys? This is the part one of the part two series where I'm fitting my barrels. Really, just this barrel. This is my match grade or super match. I'm sorry, I don't really know. I'm gonna put it in the description, whichever one it is, for my 1911/2011 series. So you can see I put the blue Dicom fluid on there. I use that punch to put it in because that's like the best non-abrasive way to put it in without getting any blue dye on my hands, which I ended up getting some on there anyway. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just putting it back in, and then I'm just gonna rack it a lot of times to see like the high spots, see where it was really rubbing the most. And then I'm gonna start with the sand sponge and the, I want to say it was 600 grit sandpaper after this. But basically you'll see I'm just racking it a lot right here just to see the normal wear and tear of where it was rubbing. And for mines at least, I was really worried that I was gonna have to fit the barrel hood, but I got the drop in, paid a little extra for that, for this barrel and my black threaded barrel, and it is worth it. It is truly drop in. It's fitting nicely. This one damn near has zero play, as you'll see in the next part of the video. It doesn't really have any play like left to right, and the lockup is wonderful, and I love that. So I will let you know now the wear spots on this barrel were at the top of the barrel, like towards the front of the barrel, and then on the left and right sides of the lugs, under the lugs though, at the bottom of the barrel. I don't know what part of that barrel, what that part is called, but that's where it was wearing the most, and I believe that was just rubbing on my um, buffer, my buffer spring thing. I wasn't really rubbering on my buffer itself, or the guide rod or the spring or nothing like that. It was just rubbing on the buffer because the buffer sticks out a little bit more, which is what I like. I like my barrel to have that extra support right there. I'd rather it rub on the buffer than on my actual metal on metal. That's what it's for, is for that to absorb some of that contact. So I really like that it was doing that. I'm not going to actually fit that because I like that tight lockup. And as you can see right there, just rubbing a little bit on the top too, but not too much. So I did rub that down a little bit with the sandpaper, got that together. And the locking lugs, that was my really biggest issue that I was worried about, and it fits off the gate just fine. So yeah, that was fitting fine, and I like that. So no problems there. And this is just me continuing my process, just putting it back together, disassembling it, assembling it over and over and over again, just so that I can get it fit perfectly just right, so that it can be reliable. And then in my part two, I'm going to talk about what I did to the feeding ramp and the barrel polishing of the feeding ramp for this barrel and my next one. So here we go. It's my first time using a sanding sponge, and it's coming pretty handy. Getting it pretty clean too. Just trying to make sure I can do it even as possible. If I take off too much, that's okay. With this barrel, it has enough bulk on it that it'll be alright. There we go. Boom. And then I'll just fast forward to me getting all the high spots and stuff off. Okay, boom. Got it cleaned up. So the differences between these two, right? Now, granted, I tried to keep the playing field as even as possible. They are not around the same price point. This one is about $200. This was about $350 with the threaded barrel and the built-in link. And I got it factory STI barrel. Just to get a close-up again on everything. Those feed ramps, granted, it is a little dirty because I just got done, but I'm gonna polish this up, because what's happening is when the barrel's coming in, when the billet's coming in, it's still getting stuck either right here, because this is a smooth surface, but it's still, boom, hanging up right there. It's not having enough push to go up, or it's still getting stuck right there. So I was having the same problem with this too, and I couldn't figure out why. But then I saw some pictures of polished feed ramps. I just googled polished feed ramps, and I seen, and then now there's literally nowhere for it to stick. It just goes straight and straight, and even if I try to stick it, it's still going straight in. If I try to stick it here, you can see its natural point of aim is right there to that ramp. So I'm gonna have to polish this up, and it should feed flawless, but as you can see, the only point that's wearing a little bit on this barrel is that front locking lug right there, or technically the back locking lug if you're talking about from the barrel throat to the breech face. But yeah, threads are amazing on this thing. They are 1/2 by 28. It did come with the O-ring and thread protector, which for an extra like $100 or whatever it should. But I want to take this off so you can see actually in the inside. That machining is so crazy. Like, man, that's so clean. I can't wait to put the it did come up oiled up, by the way. I can't wait to put that muzzle device on there. I'm actually going to be testing a new one on here, and hopefully it fares pretty well against the non-compensated, but I'm sure it will. But this thing is just, man, once I get this to feed reliably, this will probably be my new carry with this platform. But you can see it's already, when I have the locking lug and stuff lined up, it's already lined up perfectly. All I have to do is polish that feed ramp down a little bit, and this baby will feed reliably. At first I thought it was my magazine, so I was going to get the magazine tuning pliers, which I might get in the future. I don't see myself having that foreseeable problems with these two barrels, just because this is the match grade. No, this is the match grade drop in, and this was the super match grade. Now the differences, I believe, are these two profiles right here. So this is just straight, and this has that extra beef to support it just a little bit more. You can see it's all scratched up and stuff, but this is my shooting barrel. This is going to be my barrel, probably my carry barrel, just because it sits flush with the slide and everything. Like, just showing you how they fit. They both fit in the slide. This one, it is like, that's all the room for play you get, like, and the lockup is amazing. So you can see, locks up effortlessly. As long, if I just turn it upside down, boom, nothing, no play left to right, barely any, and then none back and forth, and slides out fine, as it should. And then this one is definitely smoother going in, so I can definitely see this being like a smoother cycling barrel just because of the DLC coating. And you can see I want to recoat that slide because it doesn't match quite. But look at this. This is the difference between super match and match barrel. So you can see it's got a little bit more play in there, left to right. But obviously when it's locked up, it's going to have a little bit more play like that. But I wanted it like that twofold. One reason being, I wanted a little bit more room when I am shooting with the compensator. Want a little bit more space for the gases to move freely throughout the slide, and for a little bit more play so it can be a little bit more reliable than normal barrels. So I wanted a little bit more play with this, and I'm glad that I did. I got it like that. They both truly were drop in. This one would have wore the little spots right there, and on the front. I could have sanded that down, or I could have not, and it would have honestly still worked fine. I didn't have to fit anything, no locking lugs, no back thing. The only problems I was having was the feeding, which was the back, which I don't think any barrel really comes like that from the factory, like pre-polished like that, because I had to do it specifically for my magazine's feeding angle. But yeah, that's fitting fine. The lockup is definitely smoother, and I've noticed another thing too, that these make less noise. This one makes less noise. Lock in, and then boom, And I think that looser tolerance just gives to the STI's reliability for sure. Um, it was just even, never had a problem blocking it or unlocking it. But you can just see like that extra lip right there on that just I believe that gives to the reliability because that just gives an extra lock in that area right there where that slide is. And this one is just fat at the end, which there's no problem with that, nothing wrong with that. It's just more of a design and aesthetic thing, I think. I don't think that really even serves any purpose. I do like the fat barrel because that is going to act as a heat sink to get all that heat away from the polymer grip. So probably is going to be a little heavier or hotter down here before the heat actually starts migrating into your hand after a lot of rounds, a lot of rounds. But anyways, they're both like that. Rifling on both seems good. Both the holes are the exact same diameter and everything like that. Actually, let's pull out the calibers and see. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see. Zero it. Zero. Okay. So let's see. Boom. 880 was the highest I got. And then boom. Yeah. A little bit bigger. I'm sure that's for ADA reliability too. 883. So no biggie there, because obviously bullets are smaller than that. These bullets are bullets are way smaller than that. Yeah, it's about 870 is what I'm getting on the average size of a bullet. Anyway, back to the bullets, since we're on the topic. All of my bullets in these drop in free. Boom. They do sit flush with that back lock and lug, so they'll sit fine. They are extracting fine. These just drop free. The only ones that don't drop free are my hollow points, and I'm kind of disappointed about that because I feel like that's going to cause some issues, but we shall see when we go on a shooting video. And as you can see, these just drop free. Boom. No play whatsoever. Boom. I think I pushed it too deep in there. But boom. Sits flush off rip. And then bang. I don't know why this one isn't dropping free. It just was before the video. Of course it doesn't when I'm rolling the camera. There we go. I don't know why. There we go. So, one thing that I need to help with the cycling and everything like that, I did choose to use this buffer weight. I do like that because there's no metal on metal contact. So when the thing is cycling, when the slide is cycling, right, boom, this goes right here. This is right up against, boom, like that. Or is it like that? I want to say it's like that right there. And then so slide cycling back, boom, bang, and then this compresses like that, and this goes into that black buffer instead of that metal on metal contact, which would make it wear and probably create eventually a divot in that actual thing, which make me replace the whole thing. Instead, I got the buffer so that I can replace these buffers. I got like a 10 pack for like $4 from Atlas Gunworks. Shout out to Atlas Gunworks, by the way. But yeah, so this is definitely going to help in the feeding of not the harshness, because that is metal on metal contact every time you reciprocate that slide. Now, let's go put this in the barrel, or put this in the slide, see how it sounds. Let me see if you can, let's see if you can really hear the, whoops, I don't know what I was doing. See if you can hear the difference. Bang.